Yo. Happy Friday, Maya.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, happy Friday.
Are you excited for the
Happy
weekend?
Friday. Am I?
I don't know, are you?
Yeah.
You
maybe.
tell me! I don't know! You are,
I am
in
kinda
fact.
because
I'm telling you.
yes, I am because I'm.
You are because what? Ah!
Well,
She disappeared.
I'm about to finish. Huh? What?
Are you alright?
I'm here. What? I'm here. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to release my video about the whole fucking GoFundMe shit that's been happening for a while. You know, the one that
yeah.
I've been hinting for 4 weeks now. Oh, it's happening soon. It's happening soon. It's gonna happen this weekend. I'll make it happen this weekend.
You're finally gonna get around to that. The big expose about how much of a fraud you are.
Yeah.
Exposed!
Yeah, because I'm very happy because I got an extension on my assignments. I was just like, okay, I got more time, so I can do that.
I've got more time. Instead of spending more time working on my assignment, I'm gonna spend more time working on YouTube bullshit. Yeah! That's how it do. Let's go.
I didn't ask for the extension. It was just given. I was like, I think so maybe because the course coordinator is maybe not well or something like that. So maybe that's why. Yeah, you know, they are also humans, right? So.
Oh yeah, I guess it's already technically the weekend for you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Technically, what? It's already weekend. It's
Welcome
6 a.m.
back to DFF Friday. DFF Friday. DFF Friday.
It's going to be fun.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back
Hello.
to Dump Friday. Hi.
Hello.
We are live.
I,
Yeah. What?
Before we start, we are live. Yeah, we are live, everybody. It's Dump It Friday. Okay, cool. I sent you a tweet in the Discord, so you wanna check it out. You're gonna either go like, oh, this guy, or you're gonna go like, oh, seriously?
How dare.
Yeah, I'm in a funny mood. I'm just having my coffee, guys. It's just kicking in, so get
What
ready.
is this
Get
gonna
ready.
be? Oh, I saw the name and I'm already like, oh, this fucking guy. Okay, sure, yeah. Alright.
I know.
Manya knows me well enough. Alright, hey, welcome back to Dumb Fact Friday. We do this show every Friday where we talk about dumb things that we've come across on the internet or in real life just over the past week, except when we don't do this on Fridays, and sometimes we do it on Saturdays, except for when we don't do it at all because we have our volcano show, which is next Friday. Yay! Alright, what does this say? I'm gonna read this out.
Go for it.
Oh god, it's like a thing. Oh
Yes,
god,
it's like a
okay.
thing. Yeah, I know.
So, for
Look
anybody...
at the reply. Look at the reply to you.
Yeah, I got it. So, for anybody who doesn't know, there's this guy named John Hamill, who is a very angry, transphobe who used to be a major part of, like, the online atheist communities. So for anybody who doesn't know, he used to be a relatively large name. He was part of, like, the Atheist Alliance in the UK, or whatever the fuck. But he's been going off on, like, transphobic tirades as of the last, I don't know, year or so?
Yeah.
Quote, John's lying about what the whistleblowing was about. It was not about children being given harmful prescriptions, end quote, Manya and... Why is he still tagging us? It's been 9 months?
You know what's happening? That, even my Twitter is so, like, done with his tagging that it doesn't now pop up on my notifications anymore when he tags me.
Yeah, I didn't get a notification either. He's getting shadow banned by Elon Musk.
Yeah, you know, and you know what? How I actually got the notification, because someone replied to that tweet. That's why, and I was tagged in that reply. Even Twitter is like, drop it, brother.
Here,
like,
I'll see if I can.
Muted, he's not blocked. Nothing.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm sorry if me pulling up things is a little bit of a chore right now. Just because, like, I need to get another screen. Everything is so out of it's so impossible right now. Um,
You need a 49-inch screen like mine.
I just want and what I need is I already have a monitor. I just need to be able to switch this monitor back and forth for which computer it's on, but I need a stand so I can lift up my two monitors and then put something in the middle. Right now, this
Like an
monitor
arm.
that's right in front of me right now is sitting on all of my Dungeons and Dragons books.
Oh, you need a monitor. You need just like I have for both my monitors. I have monitor arms, so I just can take them around,
Yeah, even just a
swing them
stand,
around.
even like a shelfie stand doesn't really matter. Anyway, yeah, hey, Twitch is right there. Hi, Twitch. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Hi Twitch.
And
Hello
YouTube,
Twitch.
YouTube
Hi
and Twitch
Darwin.
has switched sides. We have a follower goal for Twitch, so if you're interested, I stream on
Ooh.
Twitch every day except no, pretty much every day except Saturdays. I'm on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 a.m. doing art and other stuff. So we're usually doing art and talking about whatever, and it's like, the same kind of like talking I do normally.
Whatever.
And whatever, so this is the tweet that she sent me. So okay then, brain geniuses, let's hear from one of the whistleblowers now that the cast report is published. Silence from those two mental deficients, eh? I don't think they've addressed any of this, question mark. Stonewall also repudiated themselves on their, quote, they excluded all the studies, hot take. I think they addressed it by shouting bigot at anyone not in their cult smiley face with the little nose. He uses the nose. Very cute. And then it says, I've seen so many of those lies doing the rounds. Cass has now published a FAQ to repudiate the main ones, with facts and evidence. So I guess are we gonna follow up? I mean, I like how when was this tweeted? This was an hour ago and they're like, silence from them. It's like, bro,
I was
no
sleeping, you
patience.
motherfuckers. I was sleeping, you motherfuckers. It's 6 a.m. here. What the fuck? It's Saturday. It's my Saturday at 6 a.m. Fucking baka.
Well, it's almost like
I'm not wasting my sleep on that.
Well, on the other hand, we actually have to read it. Unlike the person who claimed they didn't read it, so it's gonna take longer than the 20 minutes.
It just blows my bloody mind that he said that he didn't read it. And I was just like,
Thank you so much for the prime subs. I like how you change your name, Simius, on Twitch there. Greatly appreciated. Welcome to the Twitch nonsense that we do on the regular. I hope you enjoy your time there. We are live there often, and by we I mean me. It's me. Hi. Thank you very much.
I'm live during the weekend. I don't leave Chesh alone during the weekend. I'm just like, hey Chesh, hi Chesh, where are you Chesh? Can you get online Chesh? Come on Chesh, let's talk Chesh. I've got gossip for you Chesh. Let's go Chesh. It's like,
so
actually I did that yesterday.
So I guess we're probably gonna have to do a follow-up on this finally, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a read and I'm gonna see what's there and compare it with what we covered. What's 9 months ago? 7 months ago? Sorry, yeah, 7 months ago. Yeah,
nearly 8.
So,
nearly 8 months.
8, yeah.
So
John,
we'll go.
That's how it's done.
What, actually
we don't
reading
go
it?
Jumping on. Yeah, reading it before jumping into conclusions. Unlike you, who never read it, brought up a hypothetical about his kids trying to weaponize his kids against us, and then when we broke down that stupid hypothesis where you intended to weaponize your kids. Since then, you have been on a fucking tantrum, a man tantrum. I don't have anything against men, but this one is particularly such an immature tantrum I've ever seen from a guy in my life. I've seen men with tantrums, I have, and some are adorable also. This one is creepy as fuck. Let's just go.
I think so. What we'll do is, there are 2 references here, right? There's the Guardian, and then there's the Independent. So what I would like to do is actually read the report, which is still not linked here. He didn't link the report, he just linked to people reporting on the report. So I'm gonna see if I can go and look up
I wonder why. Maybe because last time when he said that the report said something on page 13, it didn't say that what he said, it said on page 13. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, if you don't want to go to Twitch, you don't have to go to Twitch. It's okay. It's just another place you can find me. If you're a member on YouTube, you get all of the Twitch VODs. And every week on Sundays, we have a new vote goes up for what Twitch VOD is going to go public for free. So you'll still get the content. Don't worry about it. It's just another place that you can come and find me. Hello, it's good to see you. Welcome to this shit show. So yeah, I guess we'll do a follow-up on this, not next week, the week after, because that's when we're going to have the next Dumbfuck Friday.
Yeah, yeah, John. Okay, John, we'll give you the... okay, actually, we're not giving John the attention.
We're not giving John the time. We're giving the cast report the time. So yeah, we'll take a look at that.
We read, actually. Yeah, we read, actually, John, unlike you. I'm gonna hold that against you till you die, you fucking you asshole. You didn't even read the thing.
He's gonna have to wait 2 weeks to hear our opinions on it because we have schedules to keep.
Right? Unlike him, for some reason, I don't know what happened there. I don't know.
So shall we? Now that we've dropped this in my lap right as we started the show today, do you wanna go into one of the things I had actually prepared?
Yes, actually. Oh, you prepared? You actually prepared something for Dumbfuck Friday? Oh, okay.
Hugh, it's Russell Brand.
Oh. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'm not sorry.
You're not. I know you're not sorry. God.
It's okay. It's not just one. It's 2 Russell Brands. We have 2 Russell Brands today. So this is from April 6th. This is from last month. So just for context,
okay.
Just so you have the context about what this is about.
April 6th this month. Okay. What the fuck is he up to now?
Yeah. Why would you subject us to the filth from Turf Island? I don't know.
That was my fault, man. I just saw a reply to me, and I was like, "Where did this come from?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's him." And I was like, "Well, Chesh needs to see this."
Oh, this guy. All right, let's hit play and see what Russell Brand has to say. If it makes you guys feel any better, we never really watch more than like 2 minutes of Russell Brand talking. Russell Brand looking stressed. Yeah. They're out to get him.
When he's not looking stressed nowadays, it's like a question, isn't it?
One man stands astride the political landscape like a colossus. It's Donald Trump. But who was the power behind that man? Many would argue it's Steve Bannon, a man that's had a presidential pardon and hasn't given yet a presidential F-U-C-K.
Huh?
I wonder...
Steve Bannon is apparently the power behind Trump. Do you guys think that the Trump supporters agree with that? Do you think the MAGA people agree with that?
The MAGA people will blow this shit up because of that. It's like, Trump is not dependent on anyone. Trump is an enigma in himself. He's a fucking walking, talking, whatever, a failed company, a stock market himself, whatever. Yeah, they don't like it when people try and give credit to someone else for Trump. They don't like it at all.
I feel like in the MAGA spheres, it would be considered like a heresy or sacrilege to say that Steve Bannon is the power behind Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they would agree with that. Not that their agreement is required. What do you think? Do you think that's accurate? Chat, you guys, what do you think? I don't know, man.
I think so. Yeah, Steve Bannon. I think so. He gave him the initial push, and after that, he just fell off the planet.
Well, I'm pretty sure didn't Trump kick him out? Wasn't Trump like, I don't give 2 craps about anybody? Like Trump's the kind of guy who's like, I'm gonna step on people all my way up, right? Look at Steve Bannon and tell me there's a god. Well, he did get the pardon, but I guess that was the best.
Yeah,
the best he's gonna get.
Yeah, the best he's gonna get. I think so. With MAGA people, once you're done. You don't come back, in my opinion. Like, what you laughing at? Sorry, my bad. I switched the screens.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. The coffee is not kicked in yet. I'm not. You're black. Okay.
if you consider that if you're in a war against the globalist establishment, peripheral forces that transcend the former lexicon of left and right are going to have to be formed.
I can tell.
That was a lot of word salad. You ever go to, like, Eastside Mario's and they hand you, like, a salad bowl of Caesar salad and it's, like, this big and this deep and you're just like, that's a lot of salad.
A lot of bullshit. A load of nothing.
So, the globalist establishment, which has not been established, right? You're going up against it. What? It's like, that sounds like so much
What
conspiracy
establishment?
theory. Right. There's so much
what
conspiracy
establishment?
jargon.
Which establishment?
I wonder if you consider that if you're in a war against
If you're in a war with a
the
globalist
globalist establishment,
peripheral forces, whatever those are,
that transcend
know.
the form
that transcend the former, which would be the globalist establishment. So, peripheral forces that transcend the globalist establishment.
Lexicon of left and right.
Former lexicon. So he's calling global establishment a lexicon of left and right. Russell.
What?
Russell, beta. Russell. Why? Russell. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
I can tell you, Trump's going to come in like a crusader from the 11th century.
How?
Okay. I'm actually glad now you brought this up because this is so funny. This is so funny and outrageous and stupid.
Well, it's a promo video, right? He has Steve Bannon on for a talk, so this is the promo video. So, like, this is the shit that they're like, oh, this is definitely gonna get people to watch, and not be like, what?
So, does he even know what the lexicon... Does he know what lexicon means? Does Russell Brand know what lexicon means? You fucking baka. And English is my fucking second language. Let me quote to you what lexicon is. It's a noun, the vocabulary of a person, language, or branch of knowledge.
Uh-huh.
And there's another one in linguistics.
It almost sounds like he's saying that these peripheral peripheral forces, because I'm fascinated by the fact that he used the term peripheral forces. Like, just that alone to me is just like, I need to know what these peripheral forces are. Is it the Illuminati? I think it might be the Illuminati. Or is but isn't the Illuminati supposed to be the globalists? Isn't the globalist like thing in the world? Isn't that the Illuminati? So who's the peripheral? Is it the aliens? Is it the lizard people?
Okay.
I need to know.
Okay, we'll ask our in-house computer. Intrigued. Help us out here, man. What the fuck is going on here? Can you try and like cut out the like our astoundedness and our surprise and our like and stuff. Cut the crap out that we are putting in.
I feel like this is a test, like the grade 10 literacy test. And the question is, what is the peripheral forces referring to in this sentence? Is it A, B, C, or D? And it's like, what? And I'm like reading it and looking like, I don't understand.
I don't know. The lexicon of left and right? Okay.
The lexicon. The shadow people. The people that live on planet X that's opposite to our rotation around the sun.
I'm just thinking, is there another meaning to the word lexicon that I'm missing? Hold on a minute. Because a lexicon is the vocabulary of a language or branch of knowledge.
Yeah.
A branch of knowledge in linguistics. It's linguistics.
Well, lexicons usually reference like the history of a language, of like what the lexicon of that language is, and like understanding it. But I don't. Is he? I feel like he might just be being very liberal with with his usage of the word, and
He needs to
he's
release an
saying the word.
appendix then.
He's
He
using
needs to release an appendix with all the fucking meanings of the words that, like, seriously, Russell.
we need a
I don't,
glossary.
Chesh, you didn't get this? Like, when I said Russell, somebody's gonna get hurt real bad. Did you get it? No.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Do you know
Yeah.
that reference? Yeah, there's a comedian out there.
Comedian.
Like Russell Peters.
Russell, yeah.
Yeah, he's got Russell. Oi, Russell. Somebody's gonna get hurt real bad. He does that in that accent. It's not me.
Feline said, what is basically happening is the use of complicated language intended to come across as smart and giving credibility to the persona as a knowledgeable person. But he's using words that don't make any sense in the sentence that he's using them in. 100%. Like, none of this makes any sense.
Yeah. Even Stephen Bannon must be like, what the fuck did he just say?
I think Steve Bannon is just gonna go along with whatever Russell Brand says and just say, yeah, and then talk about whatever he's gonna say. Specifically because I don't think Steve Bannon does understand what Russell Brand is saying, because what Russell Brand is actually saying doesn't matter, because they're on the same side. So he's just gonna say whatever just to be like, oh yeah, no, absolutely.
A particular set of sort of YouTubers do, oh, I disagree with this person, how they treated another person, but because they're my friend, I'm gonna try and speak on their behalf and justify it.
Right.
That's what it is. I'm looking at you, fucking Aaron.
An 11th century crusader. Hold on.
11th century crusader. Why do we always go back to the Dark Ages? I don't get it. Fucking Dark Ages, like,
but
why?
I want to know about this, like, specifically the 11th century, because, like, that's, military expositions beginning in the late 11th century were organized by Western European Christians in response to centuries of Muslim wars of expansion. Their objectives were to check the spread of Islam, to retake control of the Holy Land and in the Eastern Mediterranean, to conquer pagan areas, and to recapture formerly Christian territories. They were seen by many of their participants as a means of redemption, blah, 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 blah,
really?
blah, expelled from
Means
the kingdom
of redemption.
The Crusades were launched, and in 1291, when the Latin Christians were finally expelled from their kingdom in Syria, there were numerous expeditions to the Holy Land, to Spain, and to the Baltics.
So, the thing is that they just didn't stop there. They just kept going. And they ended up in India for some reason, and then China. And for some reason, they did a treaty with other, like, Protestant and Catholic nations, right? All these nations came to an agreement that divided the fucking world into chunks and then said, yeah, anything in this chunk is yours, anything in this chunk will be ours, like, as if it didn't belong to someone else in the first place, and then just went around, like, looting and, like, cutting people up and just, like, conquering, like, lands and islands and shit. And I'm just like, why do people want to go back to those dark ages back then? It's like, so, like,
I just
because
don't really
you have
understand
control of the resources of all the world.
I just don't understand the reference to Trump. Like, in what way is he going to come in like an 11th century? Like, nobody wants that.
Oh, you mean that he took the money from people and then just wasted it and just, like, paying off, like, Stormy Daniels and all that shit, just is that what the crusade is about? Like, misusing the resources? Is that what it's about? I don't get it. It's like, that's the only relationship it's here. There's just, like, floundering.
Well, he's certainly
resources.
not doing any kind of Holy Land conquering, and I don't. Donald Trump does not seem like an anti-Islam person to me. He doesn't really seem like anybody who stands on any particular religious ground or any particular, like, principle. He just says whatever thinks he's gonna get the most votes because he's a grifter.
Exactly.
Like, so I don't know what, like, but he's not exactly a paladin.
Paladin. He
What's a paladin?
He is I think so. It's oh, don't you dare. He says, I think so, he mostly Trump caters to the extreme right American extreme right or Christian
Kind
right,
of.
you might say.
He does, but at the same time,
and he's because he's racist.
Well, he recently just
Because
said
he's-
that he was talking about codifying or bringing back getting rid of abortion bans.
Yeah, so like whatever floats the boat, like that's what he is. Like if this is gonna get him the votes, he's gonna do that. He's a contrarian. That's what he is.
He's just a grifter, and he's just like knows that people who are angry are the easiest to grift from because they're the ones who think that they're actually doing something by sending money to a grifter. Oh Jesus, are you okay?
Listen, it was the earthquake era, right? We just had an earthquake. I think so. His Trump's shtick is that whatever the mainstream Republicans will do, he's gonna go the opposite way because he still thinks because he's a pariah, people, the pariahs of the Republican Party will still acknowledge him or give him votes. But what is happening is he's not realizing that it's not just about being a contrarian. Republican Party is also about issues.
Sorry, Puck's just looking at me. Puck's looking at me like he needs me to open the door for him, but the door is open, so I don't know what his deal is. Oh, he figured it out.
So, I wasn't audible when I walked away. Sorry, man. So yeah, he's a contrarian. That's what I said. And he says things just what the mainstream Republicans are doing at that time. So the abortion bans are happening by the mainstream Republicans. That might make some of the candidates popular amongst the Republicans. So here comes in Trump, who's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna lift the abortion bans, thinking just because he's a pariah, he'll get the attention and the votes for it. But sometimes he has to realize that sometimes Republicans are about issues also. So yeah, he's kind of like messing it up for himself, in my opinion. But
the Republicans have themselves stuck in a catch-22, right? Where they don't want to split the party, and going against Trump splits the party. But I mean, if Joe Biden continues to be the bumbling fucking idiot that he does and being pro-genocide, he's unnecessarily making this a very difficult decision for a lot of American people, and making the vote gonna be a lot more, like, a lot closer than it would be if he just stopped supporting Israel. All right, I hit play.
Like a crusader from the 11th century.
How are we to acknowledge and then eventually overcome how these nation-state models have plainly become corrupted?
This is now a populist movement that every day gets bigger. Unless we start to break this by a democratic means, that means the ballot box and people getting very focused. I think this world is really headed to a new dark age.
Democratic means, is it, Russell? That's coming from you, Russell. Sorry, Russell, not Russell, but
that was
Bannon.
Steve Bannon.
What the fuck his name is? Yeah.
Bannon.
That's coming from you. Democratic means, really? Now you want democracy? What kind of democracy? That's also another question. Or is it really dictatorship? Disguised as democracy?
What do they call it in Helldivers? Managed democracy.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
We're gonna be talking about a little bit about that satire and literacy tomorrow with Landon and Offbeat Outlaw, so join us for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, let's play the next one, because today we're diving into the chilling world of MK Ultra. Are we being kept in a state of ongoing panic? Gee, I don't know. We're going into a new crusade, man. Are we being kept in a state of panic?
Run for the damn hills.
You tell me.
At least they're not comparing that to, like, Holocaust, like some morons.
Yo, listen, give it time. Give it time.
Oh, that might pop up too.
Give it time.
I'm looking at you, Susan. I'm looking at you, you fucking idiot.
MK Ultra.
And then there are people who try to justify that. Okay, let's go. Sorry.
Ultra. CIA mind manipulation techniques.
The new goal is to cause an individual to become subservient to an imposed control.
The goal is to ensure that individuals remain subservient to imposed control. Think of...
He's looking at, like... That video was from, like, what, the 70s? Mid-60s? Yeah, there were a lot of experiments that were being done about, like, about mind control and, like, psychological experiments that were going on back in the 60s and 70s that were banned. So, like, Mr. Beast isolating a person and putting them in a grocery store and then turning off all the power and the electricity and leaving them in there for like as long as they can stay in, what is illegal? They were doing those kinds of experiments where they would isolate people or they would put two people in a room
Beast
together.
has disappointed me so much. That fucking motherfucker. Like, he started off well.
Well, at least they were doing it for fucking science. Mr. Beast is doing it for money.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, let's start a gladiator colosseum. Why not, Mr. Beast? Yeah, that's the next step, isn't it? Let's go back.
Just
and,
like, it's inching closer to that.
Gladiator matches. It was like a fucking baka.
I mean, it's like, that's one of the things, right? Where it's like those kind of experiments that Russell Brand brought up were banned and outlawed, and it really slowed psychology down for a long period of time.
If you're saying that they were publicly banned but the American government for some reason still in secret is carrying out those experiments, but we'll need proof of that. And that's where, I know there's a difference between the real reporters and you motherfuckers, because the real reporters, they will go deep and they will risk their lives when it comes to if they have to bring such a story forward. But you motherfuckers just sit there on camera and just like spout like, conspiracy theories. That's the difference. That's why no one really takes them seriously.
There are techniques that have been expounded upon and utilized by government officials. Right? Like, mind control, not really, not in, like, the sci-fi sense of mind control, but, like, manipulating people, or convincing people, or torturing people, or trying to get, like, X, Y, and Z out of people. Those are all things that exist. Those are, like, closing Guantanamo Bay was a big thing that Obama ran on. Like, a big thing. He didn't do it. But it was something that he ran on, and that was something people voted for, which tells me that the government is not controlling the people. The government is just not doing what the people want them to do, which is a different problem.
If I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm not wrong, isn't it part of US's war policy that if they need information and someone has information, they will use torture to obtain that information? They did that around Osama bin Laden, if I'm not
there was
wrong.
Like a whole thing about
information.
George Bush, right? George Bush was waterboarding people, and everybody's like, "Are we allowed to do this? Is this a war crime?" And it was like it was a discussion. The answer was yes, it is a war crime. You're not supposed to be waterboarding people, and information gotten through torture isn't reliable.
Yep.
Like, that's a whole thing. It's very silly.
Zar from the live chat on Twitch. Manya wants you to correct her if she's not wrong. Lol, sorry, Manya. Okay, sorry, my bad. If I am wrong, please correct
me if I'm not wrong, yeah. Very funny.
Sorry, my bad. English is my second language, fuck off.
I like that Feline also picked up on that. Very funny. Getting picked on today, Manya.
I'm sorry. Listen. All right. Like, yeah. Okay, cool. Put me on a fucking cross.
Yeah, it's illegal under the Geneva Convention. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yes. Yep.
Right. I cut rocks from the live chat. Manya, I know interrogators and strategic questioning is not specifically done without torture because it's incredibly unreliable. Yes, it's unreliable because during torture, the person will just give you what you want to hear. That's it.
Yeah.
And, even if you say, like, oh, I'm gonna verify it and come back, in that moment, to get respite, the person will give you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's why... And also, like, even if it gets the results you want to get the results, that's unethical. That's inhumane. You still don't do it. It's like, no.
Well, it's also, like, it's one of those things, too, where you've got, like, if you look at Ron DeSantis and you pull up his history in the military, you'll find out about how he was torturing people in Guantanamo Bay. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's where it was. So, and, like, these were people that were, the people that have come forward to talk about this are people who were in there, like, they weren't supposed to be in there. They didn't even do anything. They were just in there, and, like, in Governor Florida, man. I swear to God.
This is the same thing, like, when women of color, or if I might dare say slaves, were used as guinea pigs for experiments by white doctors.
For the
with
the psychology ones that he brought up earlier, like those ones weren't done on like black people and prisoners. The ones that were recorded, you could see that the guy was white. It was mostly like students that were getting paid. Like the people got paid to be part of these experiments. It's just that they decided that the experiments themselves were inhumane, and like you can't do this to people no matter how much money you give them, Mr. Beast. Even if you do write it down for science. So those ones in particular, at least, were not like a slavery racial thing. Although I'm sure that was going on somewhere. That's just not the ones that he's referring to. I mean, one of the reasons we have so much medical advancement, or we have medical advancement in the way that we did at the time period we got it, was because the Nazis were doing a lot of physical, inhumane experiments on everybody. So like, particularly Jewish people, and trans people, and black people, and disabled people, and people with brown hair.
Chesh, that means they brought so much, like, science,
they
forward,
did.
Like, yeah. So is that really bad then? That were Nazis really that bad?
Particularly dental work. But the thing is what the Nazis did was bad, but we were able to take advantage of that bad thing and use it for something good, because at least we were able to get something out of it, as opposed to just all awful all the time. I mean, it was all awful all the time. Who am I kidding? All right.
It's so funny. Like, Intrigue Feline asks Sarah.
Oh yeah, Japan too as well. Yeah.
Ever heard of the Stanford prison experiment? I go on Google and I start typing Stanford. I get the spellings wrong of the Stanford, but it still suggests me the Stanford prison experiment. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Google knows.
Yeah.
Control. Think of how the world's changed in our era of black swan events and incessant panic and tragic global events. You go from the Berlin Wall coming down to the Twin Towers coming down to the...
Why is Berlin Wall
did he just describe
the tragic event? Huh?
The Berlin Wall is panic and tragedy.
And it's a negative, bad event. Huh?
I'm confused.
Like, see, seriously, I get the trade center stuff, that the trade center that happened, the attack on the trade center in America, like, yeah, the Twin Towers. Yes. Okay. All right, but again, yeah, Intrigue Feline, Black Swan events. What the? We need a fucking dictionary for this guy, like a separate dictionary, like, dude. Or actually, I would love to. You know what to do? Come up with our own dictionary with assumptions of what the guy actually means when he's using certain terms. Oh, he's using Black Swan. This is what he might mean. This, and this. Lexicon. This. And then just have a laugh when next time he brings these terms up. I don't think so, though. He repeats or recycles such terms, in my opinion. But
I haven't watched enough of him to say.
Berlin Wall.
He uses a lot of like in jargon, so like only the people who follow Russell Brand know what he's talking about. And I bet you any money it's the same as like old school Jordan Peterson, where they're actually just coming to whatever conclusion they want. It's part of a grift. It's con shit. It's the same way con artists do stuff. They want
shit.
Yeah, they want you to come to the conclusion so that way you agree with them, and they just never correct you, because so you get more people to agree with you and give you money.
Oh, you mean like a certain individual that was attacked for 6 months relentlessly, and when they finally decided to file TROs, they were still attacked, because they brought drama and therefore money. Right?
Oh yeah, drama for money. Yeah, when you invent drama for money. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Yeah. You're the one imposing the panic. You're the one imposing like these bad things and this shit's going on, and then you're like, "Are we being mind controlled by the government because they're telling us bad things are happening?" It's like, no, it's you. You're the one doing it, because he's talking to his fans who are scared and are panicked because he's fear-mongering to them, but he's attributing that fear to the government. But they're like, yeah, no, I do feel scared a lot of the time. And, oh yeah, the government must be fucking with me. It's definitely not just because I watch your shit. Very silly.
Yeah. God.
Is coming down to the 2008 financial crash, the endless war, pandemic, fear, that we're being held, much in the way that that individual was, in a state of perpetual and ongoing panic in order to...
Or to what?
Now you gotta watch the full episode to find out.
Awakened Wonders. God, this is like the new Deepak Chopra and Jordan Peterson. Oh my God.
Jordan Peterson and Russell Brand in a room would be just the mirror. It's just the same person. They even kind of look the
just
same.
imagine there's an issue they both disagree on, and they sit down to discuss that. Oh my God.
Nobody would ever. How
Oh
could
my
they
God.
ever? They could. Neither of them could ever disagree on anything because neither of them ever actually say anything definitive. They all just like
or understand what the other person is. Yeah.
I need some
Oh my
protein
God.
in
They
my
were just-
diet, not all this word salad.
Yeah. They're just gonna like pile shit on top of shit and just keep going.
Oh my God. Anyway, that's enough of
Oh
Russell
God.
Brand. He's just silly. He's just a silly little guy. In my opinion. In my opinion.
In your opinion. Yeah.
So we got this one. It says, "I'm tired of screaming at y'all to stop posting your kids on here, but watch this."
Oh, I saw this one.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
did.
wanted to
let's go.
share this one just for the sake. So this is gonna get a little bit more serious, but I do think it's important because I do regularly tell people, do not post your children online. Don't post pictures of them. Don't. The internet isn't for children.
Don't use your kids as social media content. Don't do that. 8 Passengers, anybody remember? Daddy of 5, anyone remember?
Yeah.
That's just like something that came out. If you go on TikTok or Instagram, there's so many creeps who hang around there exclusively waiting, and Facebook also exclusively waiting for parents to put the pictures of their kids out there. And those pictures, where they end up, you never know.
An AI bot
and imagine
generating anything.
Yeah. And I've actually recently told my mother, like, I'm like, please do not post my pictures on your Facebook profile. You want to post yours, that's fine. Don't post my pictures. And then she's like, why? I'm like, one, Facebook owns whatever you put on there, so if it ends up somewhere else, we never know. And then that she kind of got it, and she's now hesitant to put her stuff on Facebook now. So yeah.
Security can
even if you make it private.
Your information is not private on Facebook, and Facebook also has a really big issue with security. So yeah. All right, I play on this.
Y'all, this is disgusting and wild. Stick around. So a few weeks ago, I caught a man standing in line at a pet store in public looking at pictures of little girls on Instagram. I told the story, it went mega viral. What was not surprising were all of the men in the comments who couldn't get past the fact that I'm gay, and their hatred for me outweighed their feelings of their fellow man being fucking nasty. What was surprising was the sheer number of mommy bloggers who followed me because of that post. Mommy bloggers who do in fact show pictures of their kids all the time.
Yeah.
So I did a little experiment.
Yeah.
I created a fake page. I made the profile picture Barbie, put lots of content in there that little girls would like, cartoons, lots of pink, absolutely no pictures of children. And I would like to share with you just a few of the messages that account got. Hi, sweetheart. Do you have any cute pictures to show what a pretty little girl you are? I saw...
For anybody who didn't see the second one, it says, do you suck cock? If you didn't see that one that they didn't read out loud. Anyway.
You like Barbie. So does my little girl. What's your name? Listen, you really need to ask yourself what you are willing to ignore for likes.
Preach, my guy. Preach.
Yeah, don't post your kids on the internet. Don't let your kids be online unsupervised. Sexual education for your children is important, so they know to avoid this kind of shit.
And how to utilize social media safely.
Yep.
Yeah, and don't force your kids to come on camera when they don't want to camera. Steve McRae, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you the fuck
Claudia's in a
out.
mood today. She's naming everybody.
Coffee hasn't kicked in yet. All right. I'm still cranky as fuck.
You shouldn't force anybody onto camera if they don't want to be on camera. Obviously, there are exceptions, right? When somebody's like a Karen is like, stop filming me, well, she's like assaulting somebody. That's obviously an exception, right? Or the police.
Yeah, well, you want to expose unwanted behavior or unconsensual behavior. Yeah, creeps, taking photographs up the skirts or something like that, following kids around, that kind of shit. Yeah, that's fine. But in that also blur the kids out. You don't have to show the kids.
Yeah.
It's amazing like how people like don't realize that some people, like the mommy bloggers that like this individual is saying, are so desperate for likes and views. And there was actually I'm going to bring up someone really stupid, the Dr. Phil, right?
Oh yeah.
Dr. Phil. He did an episode where they were speaking with a mother who had like kids in pageantry and stuff, right? So she had made an album on Facebook and she thought it was privated enough that people couldn't like see. One, why would you put the pageantry pics of your kids where they are dressed
beauty
so
children's beauty pageants are
that's
fucked.
Another and then an individual to make a point like was able to get the access to those photographs, and then he posted them on his website to make the point that bitch, it's never private. And she kept saying you shouldn't have done that. He's like, but yeah, I can do that and I did that, and you still don't get it. You can't live in a utopia. Yes, you can strive for a utopia, but you can't live in a utopia thinking that, oh yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, people shouldn't be raping either, so it still happens. What do you mean?
You have, as a parent, you have a responsibility to protect your child, which means you need to educate yourself about the areas that you allow your child to exist in. And you have to allow your child to exist. So you need to figure out where, when, how, and what is going on in those spaces. People get weirded out when there's a single dad at the playground and completely ignore what is happening online with their kids.
Yep. And also, like, don't use your kids as weapons for arguments on internet and then get mad when people who are in debate with you start using those hypotheticals or what you bring up about your kids against you. Simple as that. Don't do that. Then don't get mad about it. I've seen individuals who bring up their kids online and even in passing comments, and then when public latches onto that and then come back with arguments referring to their kids, they get mad. Bitch, you dragged your kids online. You did it. And also allowing your kids online. Okay, you're making live streams and stuff, right? This is for Megan. This is for Megan. This is for you. Wolf was online with Megan on his birthday, and her kid popped up in the live chat for some reason to wish Wolf a happy birthday. What the fuck was that?
I think she is 12, right? I think is what she had said.
Yes. What is a 12-year-old kid doing online in an adult chat wishing an adult happy birthday?
I have a different question.
Why are you telling your kid about Wolf?
Why
are you telling your kid about Wolf?
Yeah.
And they are interested in Wolf. Why? The fuck, Megan?
I have a different question. Why would anybody let their child around somebody like Wolf? That, like, even if you don't think, even if you also don't like the people that Wolf doesn't like, and even if you, like, agree with what Wolf is saying, Wolf is very much not child-friendly. Very much not, like, for kids. So, like, he's very again, even if you agree with him, he's very vitriolic. Right? He's, like, runs around making threats to people. He, like, runs around being, like, he's very crude and vitriolic. And so, like, and the excuse of, like, my child is very mature is the same way your kid gets in shit like this, like what this person's talking about. I can't hear you, Manya. You gotta switch your mic. Nope. Nah. Alright, let's switch to the next one anyway. Don't put your kids on the internet. The internet is not for children. It is not a safe place for kids. Okay, so in the same kind of vein, we've got this not all men, but it is all women. That sums it up. So we're gonna. I really liked this one, and I wanted to share it. So let's go. Can you hear Manya? Okay, so I'm gonna play this while she figures her audio out.
But it is all women. Let me explain. It's not all men, but it is all women. Let me explain. Not all men are a threat. Granted, I'll say that's true, but all women have to wonder which one of us men are a threat. Think about that. You don't know if it's Ted Bundy or Keanu Reeves, because both seemed very charming. One of them's actually a decent person. One of them, well, we know how that went. But they both seem very charming and nice and sweet and educated and intelligent and seem to think very highly of women. So if both Bundy and Reeves both seem like nice guys, how do women know? They would have to have some vetting process. So maybe instead of saying it's not all men, go, yeah, duh, but all women need to make you jump through some hoops to prove that you're Reeves and not Bundy. Stop blaming women because you aren't willing to jump through the hoops. Duh.
Duh. I like that in the end. Duh.
I think that I like that. I think there's like another aspect to this that he doesn't. Again, it's like a quick little short so that he doesn't get into. It's like women have to make you jump through the hoops. They don't have a choice, so they have to invent and come up with these like quote unquote female dating strategy. And like that was a thing that happened with female dating strategy, right? I haven't looked at them in a while, but they got pretty like anti-men. They got pretty like we hate men kind of situation, and that tends to happen. But there are legitimate conversations that women have to have with each other about like who frequents this bar, is this guy cool? Then men will not protect women. That's a fake. That is not real. It's not like, oh yeah, but if you have some men around you, they'll keep you safe.
Nah.
That is not real. I have legitimately hung around with assholes, and I specifically went and asked this guy, like other people who knew this guy, if this guy was cool. He was definitively not cool.
Yeah. So,
like, you can't trust other men because, like, just bros before hoes existing, like, alone flies in the face of this idea that men are going to, like, be honest with you and let you know about another man. Like, that just doesn't happen.
No. Because they want to be part of the crowd. That's... Yeah. It's just... part of the brotherhood, if I might dare say. Of course, like this guy said, not all men do that, but majority of men do that. Majority of men. And that by that I mean 98% of the men do that. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I pulled that number out of my ass, but...
It's an example.
It's an example.
It's just one of those things where it's like, it's a two-way street, and you're gonna have to dance around each other as well, right? Like, you don't... Like, the women have to do things to jump through hoops, and the men have to do things to jump through hoops, and both sides have to accept that both are going to have to jump through some hoops. Now, if you're with somebody who's, like who's respect, like, I talked about this on Monday, I was looking at a guy who was talking about that his son was going to have to earn his respect once he got old enough. And I'm like, if you're constantly having to earn the trust or respect of whoever the other person in the relationship is, regardless of whatever the relationship is, then maybe, and it's one-sided, then maybe you're not in a healthy relationship, right? If you're constantly having to prove yourself. But that's different from just the initial, like, getting past those initial hurdles, right?
Yeah. It's, people, like, just when they say, like, oh, you know, why are women so stringy and why are they so, so what do you say? What's that word that they use for women? Uptight? Yeah, that's the
prude,
that's
uptight,
yeah.
Stick up the ass.
Bitch, I guess. Yeah, bitch. It's because, guys, you might get beaten up or shit. Women might get killed if they don't jump through hoops. That's the difference. And also, it's very telling of let's say the patriarchal society, if I might dare say, that as soon as, homosexuals come into play, they suddenly start treating their own gender as predatory.
Right.
Some reason. And that's really freaks me out. It fucking freaks me out. They don't do that with lesbians. They don't do that with lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
They do that with their own gender, and it really freaks me
Well,
out.
and they
Really
do it
freaks me
if
out.
somebody who's trans. There's a reason why a lot of like the
Yeah.
trans hate is hyper focused on male to woman. It's hyper focused on that. It doesn't like that's like nobody cares about women to men nearly as much. You don't nearly see as much vitriol. Like it exists. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't, but like it's disproportionately directed towards
towards
women.
Yeah, men. Yeah, men
Women.
to women. Yeah,
Men to
and
men,
it's that thing really freaks me out. Like, so you know that your gender has the capability of being predatory, but for some reason, the heterosexual, part of that gender never considered that, yeah, maybe I am the bad guy. You know what I mean?
It
So,
was me. I
yeah.
am the bad guy.
Yeah.
This was a
Alright,
funny story. I'm
go.
gonna skip this one.
Yeah.
This one was ridiculous. I read this morning, and I'm like, yo, we're talking about this. Am I the asshole
Okay,
for
go
wanting
for
to
it.
leave my husband after he stole from me?
Ooh.
The fact that these things are fucking questions is bizarre. Like, the fact that you're even asking me this question is so, like, it just shows off, like, such a lilt, right? So, when I was 5, my Nana gave me her tea set. It was given to her by her mother. My Nana has no daughters of her own, and I was the only girl of her 11 grandchildren, so she gave it to me. It's a full-bone china set. I don't know if it has any monetary value, but its sentimental value is immeasurable. I have had it, kept it, and used it for nearly 28 years. I wanted to pass it down to my own daughter or granddaughter one day. My husband knows all of this. His sister and her family came to stay with us for a week. Whenever I have little girls over, I pull out my tea set for a tea party. I make tea sandwiches, scones, cakes, biscuits. My Nana made tea parties a big deal with me, and I carried that on. So me, my sister-in-law, and her daughter had an afternoon tea party. All right, lovely. Sounds pleasant.
Yeah.
How's this gonna go wrong?
Yeah.
It was a couple of weeks after I had my friend and her daughters come to visit. I planned a tea party. Morning of, I baked, made sandwiches, went to pull my tea set out, and it was gone. I kept it in a cabinet in my kitchen. I wash it and put it away every time until the next time, and I went a little mad looking for it. The visit came and went. I spent days tearing my house apart looking for it. Every cabinet, drawer, cupboard, the whole house was turned inside out. My husband even helped me. He was insistent. He was insistent that it couldn't have grown feet and walked away on its own. That's what gets to me. He knew damn well where it was, but he pretended that I had misplaced it. He knew how upset I was and tried to comfort me with promises to buy me a new set, as though a new set could replace my Nana's. A few weeks later, he came home with a cheap, thin-looking set that he bought from Walmart or something. I threw it in the bin. Call me ungrateful if you want. I don't care. I was ungrateful. Yeah, fair. Something you treasure, something of great sentimental value given to you by your long-dead Nana cannot be replaced, no matter how much or how little, in this case, the replacement cost.
A bone china set is not comparable at all to something from Walmart. What the fuck?
Okay, so
what
here's
the actual fuck.
Here's the thing. Assuming that the husband didn't do anything, right? And it did legitimately go missing, and he didn't know about it, and he wanted to replace it or do something for her to get her something new. Though this is not the way you do it. You don't just show up one day and throw like some cheap piece of shit at her. What you do is you say, it's really sad that you lost your thing. I bought you a cheap one just for the time being. Would you like to go
Barbie,
shopping?
Shut the fuck up.
Would you like to go shopping together at some like stores, like antique stores or like thrift stores, to see if we can find a way to, or find something that can take like that you can get instead. Like,
in the
since we can't
meanwhile,
find
while we look for your other set,
yeah,
we'll continue looking, and,
yeah,
and it's like. This feels like the guy was like, this was Ken telling Barbie, I bought you another cheap set, shut the fuck up, Barbie. Now it's
right.
like, that's what it feels like. I was like, wow, just wow. Like,
did
come
he
on.
sell it? Go to
Come
the antique
on.
store. Oh, you wait to find out what he did. Then I heard my husband on the phone. I heard him say that when we visit, to put away and tell Melly not to mention it because I'm still upset about it. He didn't say the words tea set, but I knew that's what he was talking about. I walked in while he was still on the phone and called him a thief. He was like a deer in headlights. He quickly hung up and tried to explain. I wouldn't hear it. I told him to get it back. His sister called me and I called her a thief. I told her to return it, meaning the tea set, in the same condition she took it, or I would be calling the police. Then I hung up on her. So you might think that she's jumped to conclusions. But wait! My husband tried reasoning with me. He told me his niece loved it so much, and that kind of thing really is for little girls. He said that he was going
China set?
He was going to talk to me about leaving it to her anyway, so where's the harm that she has it now? Wow. Because the wife didn't agree to give it to her. You've completely removed that choice from her in her entirety, gaslit her, and then told her it's for little girls anyway. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Why?
Bro.
This is something that I've seen in my culture also.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I vehemently tell like my parents. I tell them not to fall into that trap. For some reason, whatever the daughter-in-law, the sister-in-law brings into the family family thinks it's their birth given right to just grab it and just go with it. Yeah. That is not, no. It happens in my culture. Jewelry, makeup, furniture, electronics, vehicles, anything. Like, dowry system is there obviously, but some daughter-in-laws, and they bring their own stuff with them, their own jewelry that their mother has given them, their own clothes, and for some reason people think that they can just hog that and go with it. And that's what happened here. Like, the husband for some reason thinks, oh, it's hers, but I can use it the way I want to, because I am the husband in the family. So it's so, and then try to make excuses because he knows his wife will not take that bullshit.
Yeah.
He knows. So it's like, and also like, what it's like, it's for little girls. Bone china sets are not for little girls. You know what will happen if the little girls can't handle that and break them? You fucking baka? Are you so stupid? Are you so stupid? Or is that what your sister told you and you just accepted it because it's your sister? Like, what?
It gets worse.
Yes, Robert, you're right. Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Yep.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
He said I was too old to be playing around with kids' toys, and I really should grow up.
Wow. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. Even if it was a toy, it was hers. It was passed down to her from her,
and she uses it to have tea time with kids.
Yeah, like that's her thing. That's her thing. And you decided to just obliterate that. Just like tell her that doesn't matter. What she wants to do doesn't matter because you think it's immature or childish, or you want to come up with some stupid excuse to deny her.
Yeah, it's post hoc.
Gaslight.
It's post hoc. He's saying that she should really grow up and shouldn't be playing with it anyway. After he already
Why did you say that before?
Thing. Right.
Why didn't you say that before when she was having the tea parties with other kids and other moms? Yeah, but like, dude, I see you.
A bone Chinese tea set is not a children's toy.
No.
By the way.
The problem is, that's just the thing he pulled out of his asshole.
It's
That's
antiquated.
He just pulled.
It's not common that people like, and it seems like uncommon. This sounds kind of like Western. So like it might not be considered like common or normal or well like often practiced.
No, it's not.
To have like a tea set and have like a tea party, and you think of a tea party as something little girls do, when tea parties were actually like a socialite thing. Or in China in particular, there's like rituals around the way you prepare tea, and again, it's part of like the social culture. And so like there's
Japan, all South Korea, all
there's way more to it. Meanwhile, Americans out here, I'm just gonna dump this tea in the river. Fuck this shit.
Yeah. And also, like, I bet you the sister, you know why sister got it? Because she was jealous. She was jealous that her sister-in-law got something handed down to her from her, you know, her nana and stuff, that she had something of that value. And I bet you she's not using that for tea parties, but to, you know, flaunt it in front of other people. Oh yeah, see, I got this bone china set. I fucking
Well, they're trying to blame the kid, right?
Well,
her daughter loved it so much, so did the kids steal it?
This is the same bullshit that like people do online, like John Hamill, who bring up hypotheticals about their kids, and when we go like, okay, if you go with that, you're a shitty parent, and then start like making excuses for themselves for bringing up that hypothetical and trying to blame the person who didn't bring up that hypothetical. This is the same shit. Same shit. We don't know if the kid said that they wanted the set, and even if the kid said they should have spoken to her before deciding, just taking it. You know,
oh, Manya.
I just took it.
Manya, it gets worse. He said he said I was too old to be playing with kids' toys and I really should grow up. He said I was immature and it means nothing.
This guy is unfucking believable.
Oh my god.
The handed down antique bone china tea set from her dead nana means nothing.
I got your Walmart set. Shut the fuck up, Barbie.
Where's that picture of like just the man being thrown into the dumpster?
Yeah, that gif. Yeah, that's what we need. At this point, I would be like, I never knew you. I never knew you. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, guys, and even women, do not think that you have a God-given right to someone else's shit just because they joined your family. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's not just the husband who's a problem here. The husband is a very big problem here. The sister-in-law, also a very big problem here.
I kind of like, I would like to remind people like who just think that, yeah, I'm gonna just take this thing from my in-law, you know, my daughter-in-law, sister-in-law, whatever. You know, when you were kids, you used to have like bitch slap fests if one of your siblings took something from you.
Mm-hmm.
You would tear the house apart for it. Even when your parents would tell you, share your shit, you would be like, fuck no.
Oh, it's like watching people get mad. It's like watching people get mad at me for doing a rum and coke night because they're like, "Oh, you're stealing," and I'm just like, "Bro, people get really into things that don't belong to them, and they just assume that it belongs to them and that they can do whatever they want with it." And it's like, no, this didn't belong to you. That's just your assumption. This tea set didn't belong to that kid, didn't belong to that sister-in-law, didn't belong to that husband. And they're just passing it around like they think they fucking own it.
Yeah, I hate it. That's why I have always told my like my parents, I'm like, please don't fall into that trap. Like, my parents try not to, but it can happen sometimes because it's the default setting in our society. You know what I mean? It's like embedded in the culture. And that's why I tell them, like, listen, please don't do that. That's her shit. Let her use it the way she wants to. I'm like, what is it that, like, I reason with them this way. We already have shit. We don't need more.
Sure, yeah.
The bone china thing, if the sister wanted to maybe, you know, have a tea party and say, hey, can I borrow your set? I will return it to you. And then it would be up to the sister-in-law to make that call, that if she wants to, you know, let her borrow the set or not. That's the way to go about it. And she can still say no if she wants to.
Yeah.
Tough luck. go to an antique store and buy one.
Go get your own, yeah. There's just a couple things from the chat. Manya, also don't think you have so little self-worth. I have depression and have more self-worth than this poor lady. Not blaming her, just saying she should have more self-worth. Oh, don't worry. We're gonna get there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Small
okay,
claims court, yeah. So what's the reason for the divorce? Bro couldn't respect my shit. Oh yeah, we're getting to that. Rum and coke is public domain. Very funny. Definitely grounds for the divorce. A whole family has to go. If you choose to pass it down, that's because it's yours. Exactly. It's a matter of consent. Okay.
This is just excuses, though. Excuses. That's
and she gets it right here. What he meant is that it means nothing to him, so I should forget it. And she's nailed that on the head. Exactly.
Good head on her shoulders.
He doesn't
I
care.
Like that.
He doesn't care about it, so she shouldn't care about it because he's not taking her into account in why he should or should not care, which is a problem in a relationship. The next day, I not only went to the police to report the threat, I also called my brother who lives in the same city as my husband's sister. My brother went around and got my tea set. My husband was livid and spent a couple of days calling me a lot of derogatory names. His tune changed when he came home to find me packing my stuff. He stole from me, pretended he didn't know anything about it, insulted me, tried to gaslight me. Now he's saying how sorry he is and that we can work this out. I don't think we can. I look at him and see someone who steals from me, lies to me, makes me feel small, someone untrustworthy who doesn't care about me.
Brilliant. This is kind of, I'll just bring this. We had a movie released back home where they show that the husband had a party at his house, and he had one of his office rivals were also there, and they started bitch festing, and then started getting heated, and they started like throwing insults, and the poor wife is trying to tug him away and say that this is a party, let's not do this, blah blah, and he's so angry that he turns around and just slaps her in the face. And then the wife is like, you can't slap me. Then she goes to the lawyer and she's like, I want a divorce. And the lawyer's like, why? He slapped me. That's it. And the lawyer's like, that's it. And a lot of on the street interviews were done after that movie that, do you beat your partner and spouse? And all the men were like, yeah, that's happens in a relationship. And I was just like, what? Holy shit. And I've told my brother, the day if I hear that you justified something like that, I'm gonna kill you personally. You don't do that. You don't do that to your spouse. I've told of course I've said I like as a side comment, I told her also the same thing. You don't do that to each other at all. No.
If he does that to you, you tell me. I'll deal with it.
Yeah, and she does that. And it was really interesting, like before the marriage, my brother was like always used to get worked up and shit quite quickly if she said something. And then I think so around when the whole like ceremonies was happening, and I told him, I'm like, listen, she's coming here, I'm on her side, so forget it. And after that, it's just like that. And I'm so proud of him. I'm just like, good.
Get yourself under control.
That should be your default setting. Don't you dare.
Yeah. No.
So yeah.
2 of my brothers will be here tomorrow to help me move. I'm taking everything that means anything to me because I don't think I'll see any of it again if I leave it with him at all.
But yes, I agree with that.
We can fight.
He might end up.
We can fight it out in court about the rest.
Yeah, I think so. He might end up destroying a lot of stuff that means to her as a way to get back to her.
Punish.
I'm quite sure.
I've been told that I'm an asshole to leave him over a tea set. Because it's not just a tea set. It's my Nana's history, it's my history, it's years of happy memories with her, with my mother and other female relatives and friends. He stole all of that from me when he gave it away. And then was abusive towards her and all that shit. So,
said it didn't matter,
whoever is telling you you're the asshole about this, get them the fuck out of your life too. Divorce them too.
Yeah. if they are your friends, then yeah, you need to kick them out. But I'm highly doubtful that it's someone from her side. I think so it's only from the guy's side that might be telling her,
like the sister
like her
or like the mother-in-law.
Yeah,
it sounds like her brothers are pretty supportive, so that's good to hear.
I'm not surprised that they are. It's when something is passed down from generation to generation, especially in a family, to the daughter, men around them do become very, very careful around that shit. They're like, this is yours, we understand, because daughters don't get jack shit in today's society. Yeah, it's changing, but in those times when her nana must have passed it down, women didn't own much. They didn't get to own much. And that's what they passed down to their, to their daughters and granddaughters. That was their way of saying, yeah, I have something that you can inherit as a woman. And to just throw it all away, it's absolutely ridiculous and so cruel. Cruel. Yeah.
Hello, Puck. You gonna lay down behind me? Okay.
Hi, Puck. You back? The boy back.
It's their moms and their nanas, too. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, Puck's getting the boop. Puck, do you... I'll make sure I don't roll over your tail. Hold on.
He's like conveniently right behind you.
Boop. I'm trying my best. I'm sorry. I don't... Boop. We made it happen. We made it happen. There we go.
Aww.
Oh, buddy. Alright.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was the last thing I had for today. I do have this other, I had like 2 other things, but we are past our hour mark. I had this one that was a but we can save this one for another day about like children's cartoons and stuff. And then this other one about Tennessee passing a law to allow armed teachers. So, maybe we save this one for the tavern.
Yes, please. Like, it's just like, instead of trying to reverse back, they're just going like they are on a fucking racing car and just like heading like head first like into a fucking wall. It's like, oh yeah, now we're gonna arm the teachers. We don't the guns shouldn't be in school at all. You fucking baka. Okay, let's leave that for the unnamed tab, and I have a lot of feelings about.
Yeah, we'll save that one for the tavern, so that'll be coming up in 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks is the next tavern.
Okay.
We do have a microbrew tavern tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, and we have Offbeat Outlaw and Landon coming on. We're going to be talking about media and literacy, so maybe it'll kind of tie into what we were talking about children's TV that we didn't get to talk about today. I am live at 7 a.m. Eastern for about between 4 to 6 hours on Twitch, so if you want to follow on Twitch, the links are down below. Go follow Manya. She's got a video coming out soon that I'm sure is going to just rock some people's worlds, no doubt. We'll also be looking at the cast report, not next Friday, the following Friday, but this Friday coming up. So the next Friday is going to be the Volcano Show with Landon. We're going to be tracking Pele a little bit more. Those are a lot of fun, and there's lots of fart jokes. What else do we have coming up? That's it. There's more. There's still more. There's more stuff. If you want to vote for what video you want to see come out on Sunday, go vote for that. I'm done.
Check out Chesh's channel. A lot of shit is already scheduled there, so yeah, go for it.
There's a lot of shit scheduled.
And I think so on Twitter also you released your kind of your tentative schedule of what you do throughout the week, isn't it?
Yes, there's a schedule. There's finally a visualization of the schedule. That's on Twitter. I also looking like I'm gonna be able to start up the Patreon again. So if you're interested in art and what I actually do, which is art, please feel free to come by and check that out. The links are not down in the description for that right now, I don't think, but they will be in the near future, so keep an eye out for that.
You had your Patreon on pause.
The Patreon was still there. It's been on pause since December, so if you want free shit, you can go there right now and go get free shit, because I'm not charging for it, but I will likely be turning it back on next month. So, look out for that.
Gotcha.
Thank you so much for joining me and joining Manya. Welcome to Dumb Fact Friday. This has been a hell of a lot of fun, and we are gonna get the fuck out of here. Have a good night, everybody. Weekend. Whatever.
Everyone.
Bye.
Whatever. Have a good day. Bye.
Hello.
Welcome back to Dumb Fact Friday. Dumb Fact Friday. Dumb Fact Friday.
It's going to be fun.